So this is episode 2. Hopefully it's got the subtitles on it. Oh, no sound? Hold up. Yo, what's up with it, guy Tank? Yo, Papa Ham, no. Unlimited talking variety show by Harada. So people don't know, this is Ken Kitrugi, the father of PlayStation, apparently. Not apparently, but actually and factually. If you've been following PlayStation for a while, you've seen this guy talk at E3 and unveil, PlayStation 2 and all this other stuff before he retired. Like 12 years ago or something like that? They talking about breaking barrels with sake in it? Yeah, for 75? He holding it. No, he's probably 75. I could believe that. He said something about making the theme. As you can see up there, it says first special guest, father of the PlayStation. He's 70. Just checked. All right, well. Yo, he's still holding that well, man. Look, this dude working in AI, man. We try to make atmospheres that people can what? I didn't even see that. Bro, look at that barrel of sake. I want these lavish barrels of sake. Lavish barrels of sake. Of the PlayStation is December 3rd. Yeah. Do you remember the event on December 2nd? He said he decided that event on that day. Ibisu. Oh, I've been to Ibisu. I've been to Ibisu before. From Namco and everyone related. It was a good memory. But not for a video game. For music, there's a record sleeve with a name on it. Harada Yamada, we worked on that. And I was trying to organize a party to gather up all of them and drink together at Ibisu. Bro, I got a spot in Ibisu, actually. Trying to celebrate with all related people. Oh, shit, but at first every company's refused the invitation. They said, no, these people have no names. In past game developers wasn't on center stage for keeping their anonymity to not be headhunted. He said I look like my head hurt. Oddly enough, man, she made this shit mad tight and shit didn't hurt at all. I was telling her, I was like, I hope this shit stay up because I can't even feel you working in my head. To show real face and name on the enemy was 1998, 1 year after the release of Tekken 3 in 1997. Damn. So they were like talking about how like they used to not show their faces, which is true. I actually remember that. I felt like I didn't know what Harada looked like literally until like Tekken like 6 or something like that, or Tekken 5 or something like that. Because of you in the PlayStation game created someone who make video games like me could get the limelight. Damn, he's just saying like because you did that and invited him to that party. So he's talking about how he invited him to that party and they said nobody knew who he was. And that's why they were talking about, you know, the creators keeping their anonymity. And he's saying because of him, like he was able to get to the point he's at now. That's what it sounds like, you know. Since PlayStation launched, famous video game producers and directors appears on media. That is what we intended. Because I thought it was wrong, so I wanted to change that. Yeah, so he's saying these people that made games, they really were supposed to start getting like this limelight, that they should. That's really cool. That old school kid was good. Takoyaki? What? Damn, I want some takoyaki. Ah. Yeah, too famous. Right, Shanika? Damn. I want some takoyaki. Yo, Zion, it's mad good. The first playback after transfer was too good to be true. Then someone bought a Ferrari, but following year the salary went down to normal because productions were not released. Income tax exceeds the monthly salary. Yup. Because that kind of problem happened. The war of the headhunt was called down. Like after storm comes fair weather. But as says when I first, oh shit, there were strong restrictions on when taking interviews, I bet. Time has shifted, the fans are no longer following makers or publishers, but rather who is producing them, especially in North America. You know, there is a record by Sony Music. Nobody cared who belonged to Sony Music, nor who belonged to Victor at all. After all, who sang it and who wrote the lyrics for it? Not the label, but the artist accounts. But actually, there has been, oh shit, that was fast. Start with the sauce. Fuck, I want some takoyaki. Is this a real show? No, this is a thing that Harada announced a while ago. And we watched the first episode the week it came out because the homie Gilly the Toss, was like, yo, we should check it out. Oh, takoyaki. Gil Toss actually told me about it. And I was like, man, let's check this out. And the conversations are pretty cool. So, yeah, it's a YouTube series. What's up with it, Tough? We enjoy a takoyaki party together. You have this hat on, Osaka. Yes, I'm from Amagashi. I'm from Toyonaka, Osaka. So both of us are from Osaka. I've never been to Osaka, man. Mark, man, went to Osaka. A bunch of people went to Osaka. Rip, I've never been to Osaka. So I have to go back to Japan, if only to go to Osaka. I was born in the year of the tiger, too. Oh, really? I know I'm a Virgo, says Kuro Monta. What's good? Yes, you're younger than me. He's 24. That's a big-ass 24. Bruh. The number of the product was limited because it was difficult for us to develop. So they said they were talking about the PlayStation and how they were limited. He said, Kuda-chan, Kuda-chan, Kuda-chan. 100 sets, I thought. He answered. He said what his purpose was. He said it was a secret. What did he do? 100 sets was to give them to his artist. So they played it while they was backstage. So he asked them for 100 just so how the production and people would play backstage. After that, they talked about it everywhere. That was a free publicity. Hey, that's smart. This caused Rhythm Game to appear later. And music are linked together. That's where games and music are linked together. Game creators, game industry, and music industry hadn't been linked yet, I think he said. I'm gonna rewind it. Linked till then, right? Yeah. Koichi Sagayama, who is a great musician, works in both industries, but most rock musicians are not linked with game industry, are they? But since they are aligned, oh shit, speaking of artists. Our master Daddy was behind time timing. Itadakimasu! For factory, for example, especially for Tekken. I know he worked a lot. He made some lines available to make PlayStation instead of making famous artist CDs. Damn. That was a great hit. Bro, this dude, Ken Kitarugi, sounding like the GOAT. For the hit title, of course. I've always wanted to ask you this thing, Harada wanted to ask Kitarugi. I wonder how far you grasp. This is also, I can tell you now. At the time, PlayStation 1, the proof of approval. Yes, proof. Has the proof of approval to produce using this ROM in large quantities by Sony. Sony's always done that where they've tried to push their own format. Not until they approve it, we can't order mass production and go show factory. When Sony checked the ROM, this means okay. All of us worked all night for it. Our tech and team was awful. After getting the proof of approval of the ROM, went to the factory in Shizuoka. But there was a time lag until printing at the factory. During this lag, to tell the truth, we hit a horrible bug from Sony. Oh, we revised that bug in a hurry. We revised it for a whole day, 24 hours. And we brought the correct data to the factory by ourselves, driving a car. He said I knew it. You couldn't hide it. If we got the proof, but it was replaced, they said to me. Damn, so they told him about it, even though Harada and them drove it there with the car like 24 hours afterwards. I'm sorry, I've already eaten. Damn, now I'm getting hungry. Oh no. I want to hug the barkeeper. We show our own recipes to each other to improve them. Eating delicious food makes us happy. Here, here. Excuse me. With salty Welsh onion sauce. I heard Harada's bar is famous for takoyaki. He still got all the flowers and stuff in the background, I guess, from like opening the bar. Yo, this show is actually nice, yo. Whiskey with soda, please. So rum and coke? He is not playing the role of beekeeper, but he is a barkeeper. Barkeeper, but barkeeper itself. This is good with white wine. Highball. Oh, yeah, dude. Highballs go off in Japan, dude. They fuck with highballs in Japan. Yep. They fuck with those highballs in Japan. You had a white wine yourself a few hours ago? I gotta start keeping white wine in the house. Guess it's so gorgeous, it's unbelievable. Next might be more. I was asked by my friend in the same industry. For the old Namco generation, for us in the Namco generation. You are our father. Father is Mr. Messiah Nakamura. Just like a father, yes. We got this kind of impression from you. You always came to our office to see us work. So I said to the people in the other company, Mr. Kitarugi was so kind, like our father. When we became 40s and section manager and so on. Then people outside Namco were surprised. Did they say he was scary or I was scolded by him? They said, oh yes. I never scolded him. Truth was different. I've never met a person saying such a thing. This is an urban legend about you. Harada finds the truth of the urban legend from Katarugi himself. I have never talked about publishing books, including about PlayStation. Never, nowhere. But there are many books published. Yes. They never interviewed me. Damn, they never interviewed Ken Kitarugi? They wrote books just as assumptions. So it's like, how you gonna make books about PlayStation and not have the father of PlayStation, Ken Kitarugi, in it? To urinate in fear. Wow. They said they scolded him, he made him pee on himself. The most famous legend among us is... Among Us? No. Kensai. Okay. You were in a violent rage and threw it an ashtray in the conference room. What the fuck? Never. This was wrong information. He said, I've never thrown an ashtray before. There was 2 channels. And people whom I've never met nor seen created stories about me. And I said nothing to them, never fought. Actually, you replied nothing. And gradually the stories they created was regarded as theory. Writers started to write articles without news gathering activities. Wow. So they was making shit up, but I never objected. I feel that. I'm the same way. So fake stories became the truth and finally listed in Wikipedia. Yo, I feel them on that shit. People be believing that shit. It's definitely people out there that believe the shit that they read on the internet and just be like, yep, that's real. That's definitely real, bro. This dude, Steve, kept a french fry behind his ear and one of his friends didn't tell him and he stabbed him. He stabbed him out of rage. And then he choked their parents with his beads on his wrist. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Say I'm a tempered character. But I never threw an ashtray. Like, but look, dog, I didn't throw no ashtray, bro. Throw this ashtray. Just he said, I remembered their names. I heard Steve loves peas. It's true. In the game industry, there's some twisted people. Wow, authority. See, that's messed up, man. In the entertainment industry, such people were in game industry. There are so many such kind people. Game industry was a complicated industry, including their parent company. Perhaps you're right. He's saying they were bullying and stuff like that, but there was no one who plays the role of mother in this industry. Oh, damn. I thought this. There were a lot of people whose base was a low social status. Yeah, whiskey, the true serum, bro. Those highballs, bro. If you've been to Japan, you know they be having highballs all the time. I've had a highball or two with G-Unit and Majin Obama. To write a biography by a major media. Damn, the Ken Kitarugi biology, the father of the PlayStation biology. Having persuaded people around me, but I finally refused it because it was against my doctrine. I don't like to talk about something in the past. Are people interested in technology don't want to know the old story? Huh. I'm not interested in such story at all. I'm just looking forward. Damn, I hear you. Harada finds the truth of the urban legend from Kitarugi himself. SIE, SE was a third party and couldn't know. The urban legend was in the meeting to decide the menu screen for PlayStation 2. Whose screen I have never seen. Yeah, Sony Computer Entertainment. The moment you saw it, which was like a toy, you became furious and screamed, PlayStation is not a toy. Nah, real talk, man. Yo, Japanese, like old Japanese dudes can drink their ass off, bro. Because PlayStation's concept originally came from us, right? We shared the concept and what we were going to do. PlayStation 1 went very well, and we advanced to PlayStation 2. Many people from Sony group joined us. They didn't understand what we wanted to do. At the same time, people belong to Sony people who regard game as toy came to join us, and so I told them that was wrong. So that one's true. Was that the PlayStation? The most impressive word that you said, that the PlayStation system was to be a Trojan horse to go into home electric appliance. I remember those words very much. Those words became a cover story of Nikkei Electronics. The words Trojan horse. I had said something similar. Yeah, he said he didn't yell. Yeah. Yeah, that Shibuya meltdown, bruh. The Shibuya meltdown is real, guys. If you've ever been to Japan, the Shibuya meltdown, like once all the bars and shit close, and it's like 5 a.m. and all the people are catching that train back to their respective places. That meltdown, bruh. People throwing up on the train, people passed out. Oh my god! I remember one time Rip, Rick Steezy, No Pants. We saw these dudes like throwing up in trash bags. I was like, bunch of bitches. It was fucked up. I'll take 10. Bro, that Shibuya meltdown is real though. Don't get caught, bro. At the same time, Sony was against launching the PlayStation. 99.9 out of 100 people were against it. Whoa. One of the reasons was that Sony was not a toy. That was a point. The argue began with that. My first Sony was launched in America before. Even that wasn't regarded as good. Oh. In short game, they say it like this. I thought the home electric appliance they were producing. Ah, okay. Will be obsolete soon. What they regarded as games might not be just games. It will be the entertainment in the next period. I thought then, damn, my man was forward thinking. He was like, yeah, y'all just see it as a toy. Like you can outgrow it. But this is going to be like, what's entertainment next? Sony Computer Entertainment, you know? And school kids were playing unknown to their parents. But actually, oh shit, in the past games had such aspects for technological reasons. Such people didn't have imagination. Yup. They didn't imagine what games would cause. Bro, that's facts. Or what would happen to them. Hella facts. So they saw not the present but the past and give the answer. Bro, if I told y'all how many times I was told by teachers, grandparents, parents, aunts, uncles, I ain't gonna say siblings because they never told me that. But like just people around me who didn't understand like what games were to me, like they always were just like, man, those are a game. You're gonna outgrow them. That's why I feel like people, even still now, they have like this concept of games like they're just, you know, something that only children enjoy, that children do. And it definitely puts a stigma on it, but it also like shows you exactly how certain people think. And it's not like, hey man, those people are stupid. It's just that like, I don't know, man, you have to remember some of the people you talk to. Being able to appreciate certain things will not go, it's not going to be the same for everybody, right? And that range of understanding, I feel like it's not like a linear line. It's not linear. it's kind of like a circle, right? Like it's like groups, and it kind of has these overlapping points where there will be people who understand it, but largely for the most part, it might be people who don't. Soft Serve says, that's how I grew up. People in my family still don't understand it. What's good with it, Soft Serve, first and foremost? The pandemic has shown important video games have been to a lot of people. It is one of the most important sources. My bad, it just jumped. Important sources of entertainment right now. That's facts, Authority. Like, a lot of people are now realizing just, how, I'm not going to say important, but how pivotal, like, games are, or video games are, or video game entertainment is. And now it's like one of the largest forms of entertainment in the world ever, and it's video games. Look how like big video games have gotten in the last 2 years, like Otori pointed out. And this is just me thinking back from like when I used to play video games and wanted a Nintendo, and how people talk to me about it, how my grandparents, how my parents talk to me about it. It's very much that kind of process. So I see what he means. If he's trying to like guide people to see like the PlayStation to be like this future piece of technology that's going to be an entertainment system, right? That's going to be the centerpiece of an entertainment household. Of course, you're not going to want people to refer to it as a toy. You know what I'm saying? Video games are super versatile as a medium. Just like Cool Rush has now become even more versatile by joining the Taste Buds Sub Club with the Twitch Prime. Can I get some noise in the chat? You're welcome to the click. And thank you for joining us. That's how I know you. That's how I know you're cool, because you joined us at this important time where we're learning about the father of PlayStation, Ken Kitarugi, from our Lord and Savior, Harada himself. That's 100% facts. Prior to PlayStation, I worked on Super Famicom with Nintendo. Kitarugi the legend. And I like Mr. Umemura. I was often with them and got along. But from the outside, we were regarded to be fighting. I've heard of it. You were often misunderstood. I was on your side, so I knew you were. Oh, man. Sega's best way, Nintendo's best way, and so on. Synergistic. The best effect was free publicity. Sega paid Yukawa managing director for publicity, but we didn't pay him at all. After all, oh man. Publicity is real important. Oh, that's true. That's damn true. More so, everyone in the team was struggling with the future of games and computer entertainment as creators. As long as this happens, I'm sure the industry continues to grow. Mm-hmm. The media didn't learn very much. Yeah, they didn't know the truth. I don't know why I keep messing up this dude's name, man. And they thought making... Yeah, they said apparently... Somebody said the PlayStation exists because of the Nintendo. They had, like... What's up with the Soul Zan? Didn't they have, like, a crossover, like, promo thing where it was, like, a PlayStation... Nintendo thing that there was like a mock-up, but it wasn't real, but they had like a mock of it. Yeah, Soul Zan, you know what's up. You know what's up, Soul Zan. Okay. Interested, and didn't think of each other as competitors anymore. I mean, I feel like I think that they wouldn't see each other as competitors because they knew it was like, they knew how the market was starting to kind of like divide up. And I say divide, but it was still that, like, you had people that was going to support both of them anyway. It was due to Nintendo not wanting to work with Philips, right? I thought I could be wrong, but I believe that to be true. Thanks to them, made our industry live or something. I think that's what he said. Today, platforms are discussed like religions.
聞きたいんだけど、もっとやっぱ
Kuturagi.
いやまあこれから未来の話はしたくて、
If future Harada wanted to ask Kuturagi.
さっき福原さん少し触れてましたけど、僕がすごい印象的
Who does Nintendo want to work with? Nintendo want to work with Nintendo.
の時代に行っちゃうと、全員がすっと理解できることなんですけど、福原さんがかなり前にちょうどバンダイナムコっていう合併した時に、
Bandai Namco, when you came to lecture us. Damn, he's talking about the merger of Bandai Namco.
はい、そうです。来ていただいてビルに、で、バーッとみんな社員が集まって、話を聞いたときに、当時に、
That time what you said first was,
それから
from now on, many things will melt in network.
ネットワークに溶けていくっておっしゃった。これ今や、
We can now understand what you
実は
said.
ですね、会場にいた少なくとも3人に2人ぐらいは、きょとんとしてたってどういう意味？
294 out of 300 look stupefied and amazed, I think.
きょとんとしてましたよね。
いや、それあそこだけじゃなくて、PS が出た時
Also, when PlayStation was launched, at first it wasn't marked at all.
全然なかったんだけど、ある程度まで行った1990
But as it became famous in 97, 98, mass media asked us who our competitor was, and they expected me to say Nintendo. However, I didn't think such thing, and I didn't regard Nintendo on our own, so I answered maybe it would be cell phones.
あの時まだ i モードないんだよ。
I think I remember something like this. At the time, there was no iMode yet,
でもその時にもね、全然わからなくて、分かって
and they didn't understand what I said then. It was not until iPhone was launched when they finally understood what I said. Damn.
PS2 出た時に、
And then PlayStation 2 was launched. Mass media asked me, is your next competitor Microsoft? They expected me to answer yes, but I answered no.
ネットにとか
I wanted to be melted in the
あ
network,
れもクラウドって言ったのは
which meant like a cloud service, and it was 2007. Eric Emerson Schmidt to Google first said the word cloud.
言葉がまだ全然ない頃
You may came to lecture when there wasn't any word like cloud. Damn, that's fucking deep, man. This dude is fucking ahead of his time.
応援してんだけど理解してないな。
Yes, I predicted. I mean, this dude is sounding like a legend out here, you know?
その時完全理解したとは今ね、その数年後に僕やっぱネット、PC マニアでもあるんで、
Several years later, I'm a PC maniac. True, that's me too. When I gradually became to understand what you say, and I have many chances to be interviewed overseas and asked.
っていうことがあるんで、言われたことが一個あって、次のプレイステーションってどう
What will the next PlayStation be like? For example, imagine PlayStation 5 before PlayStation 4 was not launched.
言われたんですね。
I was often asked such questions.
と思い出して、ここだと思って、プレイステーション5は、プレイステーション5というサービス名になって、
Will be name of a service, and the hardware itself is in box shape, melting in a network.
で、言ってのけた。そしたらまあ、やっぱりこう、
What I said impressed them, and they put it in an article.
その上で、
Therefore, an economic analyst famous in game industry in North America,
経済アナリストの某、キースターがいると。有名な方。
he is famous as an analyst. He has a TV program
自分の番組で結構な視聴者がいる。
which has so many viewers, including investors. And it said that he says often went wrong.
よく外れる人なんで、逆、その人が言った人も逆になっちゃうと言われるんですけど、何でも外しちゃう人なんですけど、そうすると僕の
In his TV program, he introduced my interview and said, Mr. Harada is right. I really agree with him.
プレイステーション5は
I'm sure PlayStation 5 will not be launched in box shape. Perhaps it means it will be melting in a cloud.
言われた瞬間に、あ、
Definitely Michael Patrick.
当たらないなって言われたんですけど、
It will go wrong because he said so. I didn't mind at all, man. I had been thinking at the time when I said, oh shit.
ぐらいから、あれ、これちょっと待ってよ、クラウドをつかないかもと思って、あの後やっぱり5は箱で出たんじゃないですか。で、僕、もし予想外した人として結構、
いやいやいや、
No, just time lag. He said that everybody thought I was wrong. Kuturagi says now time lag, and I want to predict the future, for example.
っていうことをしたいんですよ。例えば、さっきスタルさんもおっしゃったように、いや僕
As you said, now the robots and technologies we saw in the picture book
全然実現してない。
when we were children haven't been realized yet.
ウーアの報告だと
And about Moore's law,
PC でやっぱずっ
If it making the PC recombine every 6 months.
組み替えるぐらいの僕が2000
And realized after 2004 or 2005, it was good that Moore's Law was breaking even in general consumers.
あんまり買い替えなくても結構寿命が長くなっちゃって
Because product was, in other words, the development of products has been slow, I noticed.
なんかみんなが思ってた未来
I'm worried that everything has been slower than the future we used to predict.
があるんです
No, that's true. You once said perhaps it was the time of PlayStation 2.
今の
PSN, every other game will be downloaded.
やるんだぐらいのことをおっしゃった時にいやインターネット
But others said the speed of the internet will not come up with the system fast enough, I guess.
で話を受けいろんなとこ
Said the internet is too slow. I hear this story everywhere.
近いというかなんか思ったよりも僕らが描いてた未来を
Everything is slower than the future we expected in the past, than what we expected in the past.
文化した瞬間ではあったね。
It was when developing came slow.
でそれで僕逆にちょっとで夢は持ってるんですけどちょっと未来を読みにくくなったなと思って逆に10年とあれですよ逆に言うと20年の
It's impossible to predict 20, 25 years later. Is it possible? It is 25, 27 years since Tekken. So Tekken launched over 25 years ago. Can you predict the future 25 years later? Tough says, I mean, Ghost in the Shell takes place around 2020, slightly earlier. So yeah, these motherfuckers need to learn how timelines work. I think it's just like, that's how you know there's no accuracy on it, right? Like, it's not like bad to kind of like guess the projection, but the timeline of that projection is just based on, you know what I'm saying? Like, your perception of it is just based on you, right? Now, logically, you can have more insight and then be like, well, I think instead of it actually being, you know, around 2020, maybe let's say 2040, we have flying cars, Jetsons, you know, living, you know, like that's the scope, right? But I feel like, you know, outside of being some kind of, you know, prophet, you ain't gonna be able to figure shit out. Hard for 60 and 80s estimates to be that accurate. At the time, it made sense. How were people supposed to know the new technology was going to affect society? Well, you know how, like, I don't know, like, if you guys heard this, but it was always a thing, like, where obviously, like, what technology is what we have at our disposal isn't exactly where the highest level of said technology is, right? That's why technology, you know, goes down in price, because at, you know, at its earliest stages, you know, to manufacture it and to understand it, it costs a lot more money. So when you buy like this newer stuff, new graphics cards and all new technology, it's always going to be expensive until they learn how to make it more convenient, make it smaller, make it better, use more chips, get a new, you know, engine or OS or whatever the case may be, and then they can make it better, right? But by that time, once you do that, you instantly push forward what could happen next in the terms of technology. So I'm still waiting on this hoverboard.
なってるはずだっていう予想がありました
想像した通り
Yo, killer flow. Killer flow. Hold up. Let me. First off, can y'all make some noise for Killer Flow? Came back 7 months strong and left us with a note. Says the projection wasn't completely wrong, but in terms of tech, yeah, they need to lower expectations. People's characters spot on. Nah, that's facts. But I do feel like you have to take that idea though, right? Like you have to, you can't, like, I'm not saying don't focus on what you have in front of you. I'm saying that if you have the ground, I think he's just doing exactly what you would expect him to do in the position. You want to push forward, right? Because the whole point of working at tech companies is to be in front, right? You want to be the next person with that hit, you know? So you have to keep pushing it. But like even more so, this is for like AI and games and stuff like that. So where he's thinking, what he was thinking then is where we are now. Visionaries are always early. That's facts, tough. They tried to put off the next development of products. They didn't like to change because they couldn't understand the new things. We look at this. Those who can't understand hate change. Boy, wasn't we just saying this? I was just talking about this. Like there's people who, you know, like don't get me wrong, you can definitely have a projection of it, and it might not happen instantly, but like the whole point of it is to move forward. Now, sometimes you do get those people like, well, we can't go any further than this, right? But it's going to be up to those visionaries to push the idea.
で理解できたとしてもそれをどういうふうに
Even if they could understand, they didn't know how they should go or extend the new things. They needed a consensus. Damn, they needed the herd. In Japan, everyone waited for consensus. And as a result, no one could lead. This is the present situation of Japan, but the world is not like this.
まあよくサンドボックスもある
There's a lot of people in the world that are, though, using sandbox and opening innovation and improving it all. But mass media just don't tell it to people. Because mass media don't tell it like it is. Wait, what do you say? But mass media just don't tell it to people.
メディアが使っ
Because mass media don't tell it to people. They don't know it. Yeah.
一般の人というか
I mean, once again, this goes right back to knowing where technology is on the government side and what's usable for the public.
で今のメディアのリテラシー
Now literacy of mass media is so awful. Yep, that's true.
もう本当に10年20年
They seem to have stopped growing for 10, 20 years. That's true. You know what? And this is and I feel like this is kind of like the switch over to media, right? Because for the longest time, people was mostly getting their news from like, you know, newspapers, and then it switched to the news. But then we realized that, you know, the news is just as affected by opinion as even more so. So then people tell you like, oh, I read articles or I go on the internet. But now you have people that go onto the internet and just make fucking fake articles or just embellish, and it's bullshit. I mean, people even go so far to make fake trailers for shit and call it official trailers, even though they're 100% aware that it's not the real trailer. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people going in with that idea, and the fact that stuff like that can still continue to go on kind of perpetuates the fact of what he's saying, man. I think the news is very much behind, you know what I'm saying? And I never really thought about it like that, because you got to triple and quadruple check, you know, facts and stuff, you know? Too many sheeps, not enough shepherds, yeah. Sometimes you don't always need shepherds, though, you know? We haven't really evolved since around 2010, after Facebook started accelerating and iPhones were already out. I'll take us a little more time, but it's happening now. Nah, tough. I've definitely been I've been feeling that way, and I let me just say I agree. The fake news buzzwords destroyed media literacy so hard, and now people eat that fabricated stuff like breakfast wake ups. Nah, lamb chops. That's 100% facts, man. Like, it's so easy. It's been so many times I've been kind of like guided into situations. Damn, I'm out of apple juice. Well, I've been guided to situations only to see. And I say situations, but conversations to see, you know, have these kinds of conversations, right? I like having conversations like this, right? And obviously not every time that you have this conversation, the source is going to be accurate. But if you have this discussion with somebody, you should at least, and this is just my personal opinion, it doesn't affect anybody else, you should at least have something to bring to, you know what I'm saying, from your side of it, right? If you want to, like, hopefully, you know, competently argue a point. But it's a lot of times that, you know, some of the sources that people use for news is not accurate, and that can be lost in translation a lot.
だからいいよって言いながら検索エンジンが
Instead, we can search the internet, but the search engines have been personalized for each of us, right? And so we can't reach the true information. Before reaching the true information, we tend to reach the information which is convenient for us. Only within the range. So I think they have been made jerks. That's true. That's true. People have definitely been made jerks. I actually shared a video about just an opinion of something, and the general consensus seems to be that you have to be kind of like a pretentious know-it-all guy to put information on the table, right? For it to be accepted as some kind of like, you know, literate fact, right? And this is just my personal opinion. I feel like I see that a lot. Instead of just talking about it, presenting it in a different way. I feel like it's way too uniform to attack some of the things that people put on the table for discussion. It's way too uniform, right? Like, you shouldn't collectively go to, you know, to the negative side of things. And if it's really easy for those negative side things to come to the forefront if you're already, you know what I'm saying, like you're guiding it towards that. And hopefully that makes sense. But, and we're almost to the end of this talk here, but such a technically smart old man. Oh, yeah. My man is actually ahead of his time. My man is dropping bars right now. It's tough to have conversations with people who are debating in bad faith. I wouldn't say it bad. I wouldn't say bad faith, but I would say kind of a skewed opinion. Like, there's nothing wrong with having an opinion, but you don't want your opinion to be skewed to to the point where it's leaving out facts, right? And you don't want to turn it into, something that can be, because I think people forget that, like, just even by me sitting here talking to you, that's a conveyance of information, right? Like, I think people kind of forget that. And a lot of times the power of words is kind of lost in the sense that, everybody has words and people could just say whatever the fuck they want, Man of market. Yo, hold up. I bet y'all won't drop that Markman copy pasta though. Yo, people tend to not want discussion just to be right. Yeah, I think look, the thing is like, that's where we are right now. People really just want to be right? Like, it's a major kind of source thing in media. Like, you have to be the know-it-all, or like, why else am I listening to you? So people have to bring that elevated part to the discussion, even if that part of the discussion which they're elevating is not actually backed by anything other than their own opinion, which is already skewed, right? And I say skewed not in a negative sense, but in the sense that they haven't broadened themselves to the educating themselves and like having that other side of the conversation, right? Him being able to point this out years, like after the fact, and just talk about how he's trying to perpetuate the thoughts, set the thought process around like media and learning and spreading information, says a lot about why this guy is who he is. You've only just heard of it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Dave Chappelle said something about it. All right, here we go. They have been made jerks. Regarding the situation, regrettable, but plotting something, and someday they will show up. And once they showed up, for example, now everyone is using Zoom and Teams because of COVID. But those tools were launched long before COVID. That's right. They were there for many years, but suddenly showed up before the vaccine was developed. Though people just didn't use them. This kind of goes to the fact that how people are working from home and the necessity of actually going into an office and not being able to work from home. I feel like this kind of goes down that route too. They have been existed and they've shown the solution to us. So you don't need to. We'll be experienced both good and bad in the long term. There are great people in our society. Facts. They will think. Not invented here. NIH not invented here. But they should share the best solution in the world. Facts. They look forward, same as PlayStation. My man is still talking about PlayStation. We tried to make our best innovations, including contents. Not only for Sony, but for everyone earlier in the generation. I like the way he thinks. Robots can't do like that. And car industry would just decline in Japan. That's facts. Robots need to be improved soon. Damn, the Mishima building. Damn, no Kojima. Bro, I would be so into it if Kojima was on here. I'd be losing my mind. I hope this shit has 100 episodes. So what do you guys think about the Harada's Bar episodes, man? This is our second time watching them. I really like these. And I also like talking to you guys about it, too. I think a lot of stuff requires adaptive thinking, but people really aren't about that. That's true. This is my first time catching it. I want to watch more. I've definitely watched another one before. I watched the first episode, too, so. Shanika says I'm learning a lot. I definitely learned something. I don't know if he's going to be there. Next episode, some guest enter who had no idea who Kutaragi was there. Maybe they stay. Who knows?